All right, welcome to part 5. We're barely even halfway through deconstructing the article. We must reflect on the implications of this behavior in other domains. Imagine a heart surgeon explaining to a patient that no surgery is needed based on thorough examination and diagnostic processes. If the patient without medical knowledge or training insists on self-operating due to an unsubstantiated belief, the consequences could be dire. Similarly, mental health professionals require the autonomy to make informed decisions based on their expertise and established diagnostic guidelines. This is not comparable. Because to make this comparable, people would actually have to not know the most recent research and science, but they do, and you don't. You keep repeating that you have expertise, but you don't. It's evident with what you've said. There are TikTok videos stating that things such as disliking velvet, hating big spoons, or bumping into walls could be signs you have autism. One video is captioned, "We all have that one friend that is low-key autistic." Okay? So those things might be. Do you not know that sensory sensitivities exist? It's not to say, no one in making these TikToks is saying, hey, look at one TikTok and then self-diagnose yourself with autism. That's a fucking, lie. That's not actually happening. People saying that it's a trend, they're fucking lying. It's a trend in that there are mass self-realizations of autism happening right now in this era because we've learned about how the criteria has failed us. It is not a trend in that people are disproportionately pretending they're autistic when they're not. Nobody's fucking doing that. When I'm diagnosing someone with autism, it's a very long process. However, the so-called marginalized, wow, want so many variables to now be included, there will be no margins. So ultimately, one day in the very near future, you might just hear your child is low-key autistic from a provider. That is ridiculous. First of all, you're not going to pretend as if marginalized people aren't the ones that disproportionately don't get diagnosed with autism because they're looked at as if they couldn't possibly be autistic because of how much the criteria has failed us. Are you serious? This is straight out of the exact landscape of violence that I was talking about the other day with that other enormous creator that has 800,000 followers and was invalidating and delegitimating the entire autism community that has lived a life of torture because we weren't able to know who we are and meet our needs. And then y'all bullied us, you created cringe humor, you do everything you possibly can to make us feel like we're less than human, you fucking mock us as if we're the butt of every joke, and then there's these psychologists that do this shit and mock the real, actual life-changing experiences of realizing that you've actually been autistic your whole life. You're gonna fucking mock that after we've lived a life of violence and pretend we're not marginalized, as if ableism doesn't exist, as if the racialized experience of someone not being assigned as an autist doesn't exist. Are you fucking serious?